Hello and welcome back to Do It Yourself. My name is Nico, and today we will do our first video to help prepare us for the holiday of Sukkot, right? Today we're going to take a look at the issue of the Lulav and the Etrog. First of all, if you can, there are lots of organizations that you can purchase these from. Chabad is a great resource again. I think in previous years I paid maybe 30 to 50 euros for the complete set. But in these times, if it's difficult for us to get that, if it's difficult to get access to those organizations, if we live in a place where these species exist, it's possible to find them, and we'll look at how to do that right in this video. So what is a lulav? A lulav is a date palm branch. It has to be closed, and we can see this in the picture here. There are some other species here. The other species, hadas, is the myrtle leaves that we can find around my part. Arava, which is willow, like a weeping willow, which also is easily found in my parts. And then we need an etrog or a citron, which is a little more difficult to find. I'm gonna have to make a drive for this one, but it does exist in the south of Italy, and it's a species that can grow in places around the United States. So when we bind these species together, we hold the lulav and the arava and the hadas in one hand, and we hold the etrog in the other hand. We combine them together to make this special service that we do during Sukkot. So, okay, today we're gonna go find these species, and we'll look at how to put one of them together. Okay, this is a myrtle bush. This is hadas, okay? They're not quite as pretty as if you get them from Chabad, but if you go for the younger branches, the leaves are more uniform and a bit prettier than the older branches, okay? Okay, so we just clip a couple of the younger branches, and we make a little supply for ourselves. The great thing about having these things close by is that later on, as the branches get dried out, maybe some of the leaves start falling off, it's not so nice. In fact, it's no longer fulfilling the mitzvah of the lulav. It's nice to come back out and get some fresher clippings maybe. Another trick is to keep them in a glass of water in the refrigerator, and that will preserve their vitality a bit longer too. Like that. I've got a fistful of myrtle, perfect for my lulav. Okay, this is our arava tree, and same thing as before. We just get some younger branches and make a little collection, keep them in water in the refrigerator, and they'll keep very nicely. All right, here we are with some arava branches, and yeah, we just try to find the younger branches that are maybe fuller of leaves. We just make a collection like we did of the hadas, the myrtle, and we can keep these in the refrigerator in some water. Great thing also, we got this tree here. I can also just come back and get some more later, if I need to. So there we go. There's more than enough arava, weeping willow for my lulav. Okay, this is the palm tree. It's a date palm, and we need to get one of the unopened branches from the very center of it. It's a little tricky. Okay, so that was a little bit tricky because you have to get past all those hard, pokey leaves of the open fronds to get to the closed fronds in the very middle, right? So later on, we're going to learn how we can use some of these leaves to tie together all of those three species, and then that with our lulav, that with our etrog, our citron fruit, we will have a very nice lulav and etrog. So, okay, that didn't take me very long at all to collect those three species. I want to show you just real quickly how to simply bind them all together to make, one unit of a lulav. And here's how we do that. Okay, here are my three species. I've got my palm branch here. I've got my arava, the willow branches, and I've got my hadas, my myrtle branches here, right? So first thing, I'm just gonna I wanna bind these together to make one unit. First thing I'm gonna do is just kind of peel off a couple of the leaves from the palm. I'm gonna use these to tie the other ones on, right? It's okay if it doesn't matter if we take a couple of them, even if we get to some of the longer ones, to make it a little bit easier to tie. And I usually use at least 3 of them to tie them down, right? And so I get one, we get a couple of these guys on here, and we get a couple of these guys on here, and then that's gonna be enough for our lulav, right? Okay, and there we go. It's a little rustic, but there's my lulav. I'm ready to go. And so the last piece is the etrog. Now, like I said, I'm lucky. All these species grow really close by my place, but the etrog's gonna take me a little bit of effort. There's only one tree that I know about in the whole region. I'm sure there's others, but there's only one I know about. I'm gonna have to make a couple hours drive to a friend's house to get that one. Okay, a couple hours later, here I am at my friend's house. He has this great B&B. We're gonna spend the night here at Poggio della Rossa, near Mount Vesuvius. And he's got this one etrog tree. In Italian, they call him cedro, cedri in plural. In English, maybe citron, right? And there are lots of rules about them. You want a good shape, you want a good color, preferably if you can find a nice yellow. For me, I prefer the yellow. Some people like the greener ones. But I was told if you put it in a paper bag, you'll get yellow faster. A nice scent, no disfigurations. If it's got the little stem on the bottom, you shouldn't break it off. If you break it off, it's no longer kosher. If it's fallen off like this one before it's taken from the tree, it's fine. This one, it's got a couple discolorations here and there. It's not exactly perfect. It's a nice hefty. You can see my hand is full of it here, but I don't have a lot of choices here. This tree this year only has 2 fruit on it. Right? And in fact, my friend was telling me how every year it rotates, as one year lots of fruit, one year no fruit. And she says it's kind of a miracle that there's anything on it at all this year. And she thinks that somebody was looking out for me in particular. So I'm looking at this fruit. I can show you some close-ups to see why I might want to take a look at the other fruit before I take this one or the other one. And yeah, we'll see. Okay, here's our option number 1. And we can see that there's, we got a couple scratches on it here that aren't exactly nice. We got this little mark in it here. It's anyway, it's a good one. It's you know, you might have to pay. This might be the 30 euro one, or I don't know how much they would charge for something, but these are a couple things where if you're particular, you really wanted to take your time and find something really nice, if you had lots of options, you might disqualify this one. And it just depends on what the other one looks like. If it's a lot better or a lot worse, then it might matter for which one we take. Okay, I have to pull the branch down here a little bit to see him. But you know, he's a bit greener, which, you know, like I said, I prefer them to be yellower, but that's not too big of a deal. I'm gonna have to see if I can't get them to be a little more yellow over time. But I'm not seeing the scratches on this one that I saw on the other. It's kind of a big round shape. It'd be nicer if it was a little thinner, but you know, these are the two that I have to choose from. And the fact that, well, it's a little bit of a mark down there, a couple marks there. Maybe I don't like that. But pretty much, they're of equal quality. Just this one maybe doesn't have the scratches as the same scratches as the other one. So I'll just have to think about it real quick. Okay, so I've decided to go with option number 2. I'm not an expert on the laws of Etrogim. I know a little bit. There are people who know a lot. There is a lot to know. But with this little bit that we talked about today, that's enough knowledge to really be able to decide what kind of Etrog you want. You know, now that we see it, it's off. I chose this one because the few marks that I found on it were actually dirt. They rubbed right off. So there are no imperfections in the skin like there were in the other one here. So it's much nicer. It has that nice Etrog citrus smell, right? And here we go. Those are my 4 species. I've got everything I need for my Lulav service during Sukkot. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. If these species are close by in your area, it's a great way to prepare for the holiday. You can make it a family activity. You can prepare extra ones to give to other Jewish friends. It's just a fun way to get outside the house and do something a little different. In the next video, we will talk about preparing a sukkah, and we'll be pretty much done with our preparation for Sukkot at that point. So if you like the video, subscribe, ask questions in the comments, and I hope to see you soon in the next video on how to make a sukkah. My name is Nico, and this is Do It Yourself. Thank you for watching.